Hey everyone, it's Jayson, and this is going to be my review of the Caribbean Princess. And I'm going to go into four main topics: the ship, the food, the activities, and our cabin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a couple things that we really liked and a couple things that really turned us off about the Caribbean Princess. So the first thing is the ship. And this was probably the most disappointing part of our cruise. And while I get the Caribbean Princess is over 20 years old, it was just redone in 2019. So first of all, the big thing about the Caribbean Princess was the smells. They were, in my opinion, unacceptable. And I'll go through each one of them. The first one was the sewer smell. Now, the sewer smell was more forward in the ship, and we really smelled it in basically the gym area and the spa area. It was strong. 3 to 4 times I went up there. I believe it was 4 times, went to the gym, could not handle the smell. It was awful. When I was recording this video up there, it was awful. When I went to work out, awful. So I don't know what was the deal. And I've read other weeks that there basically is no smell, but it was always in that front area, the forward area, and then that forward stairwell. We smelled it really bad all the way down to like basically deck 7, the casino area. Then in the aft area, there was like a grease trap smell. Now, if you've been in the restaurant business or around the restaurant business, you know what I mean by this. And it stinks. It will turn your stomach. I mean, it was so bad. My wife was like, breathe through your mouth. Breathe through your mouth. You won't smell it as bad. And I had to do that a number of times because our cabin was in the aft, just to walk away, get away from it, and be able to go out to eat or go do activities. So that was just an awful smell. And then the third one was in the Piazza area, was that on deck 7, the casino's wide open to the ship. And I have to tell you, the cigarette smoke, we don't smoke. So if you do, hey, I'm apologizing, but it was just rough. I mean, it was hard to sit in that Piazza area, do anything there. And it's a shame because they had a really great guy on the piano. He was awesome, but eyes burning, couldn't handle it. We did one night, tried to do a second night, couldn't do it. And so those are the things that really turned us off about the ship on the smell wise. And the other thing that I noticed is the ship just did not feel well taken care of. I didn't see as many people cleaning, taking care of the ship as I've seen on Royal and Celebrity. So I am comparing him to our last 4 or 5 cruises on Royal and Celebrity. Just did not feel that there was as much urgency to clean, as deep cleaning as you felt on the Royal and Celebrity ships. Saw a lot of dirty carpet, ripped carpet. On the pool deck, I saw some of the pool deck was actually like pivoted and ripped up. So, I mean, not that that's a terrible thing and not that that's anything, but I think of Princess as a competitor to Celebrity and Holland America. I think of them as a premium cruise line. That's what I've always thought of. They are the cruise line that we actually first cruised with. It's what started our love for cruising. So this was difficult for me to see the Caribbean Princess in this kind of shape. It just did not represent what I think of when I think of Princess Cruises. So those are some of the things. One other thing that we noticed was in the buffet area in the back, was the air conditioning basically was non-existent. If I had to rate the ship from 1 to 5 stars, I would give it a 1 star. It just was not acceptable of what I expect from a Princess Cruises aspect, and being that it's considered a premium cruise line. So number 2 would be the food. And overall, we've always thought Princess's food was very good to excellent, and this ship was no exception. The only negative would be the buffet, and I'm never ever really blown away by buffets. There's been a few that have been excellent in our 30 plus cruises, but this one was kind of bland. There was a little too much fried food on it, but we found something to eat every single day, and it was good. And so it was an okay, but it was a little small buffet. Don't have very high expectations of this buffet. Moving on to specialty dining, we went to Sabatini's and Crown Grill. Sabatini's was just flat out excellent. The food there was great. The service was even better than the food. I mean, from the restaurant manager down, he checked on us periodically, made sure we were happy. It just was a really special experience. If you're gonna try one of the dining specialty restaurants, do Sabatini's. If you have a picky eater, there is a pretty large menu, especially for the main plates. So there may be something that they will like. There's even vegetarian options on there. So that would be one thing. I would definitely do Sabatini's. Crown Grill, food was excellent. There's no doubt about it. The only negative was the service was okay at best. And part of that is we requested to kind of be in the main part of the restaurant, and they put us way up front. And that absolutely had a bearing on our experience, no doubt. I was a little turned off by that, but hey, it happens, and we tried to make the best of it. The server was okay, wasn't great, definitely not as good as Sabatini's, but the food was excellent. Moving on to the main dining room. Coral Dining Room, Deck 6, midship, absolutely great. We had Charles, without an E, as our restaurant manager. What a great person, great personality, so willing to take care of people. And you could just see this in the rest of his crew and staff. Just super friendly servers and assistant servers, and they just had a really good time, always a smile on their face. I have to tell you, for a main dining room, which I feel on many ships has gone downhill, that was an excellent main dining room experience. So the last thing would be the ultimate balcony dining experience. And this was an experience. If you're thinking about doing the Crown Grill and you have a balcony, it's something I might suggest, actually I would suggest, over the Crown Grill. Very similar food types with the surf and turf, but they really go all out. We had our servers Teddy and Tristan, and they were amazing. So I did a full balcony dining experience video, and I'll put it in the description. And I also actually went into depth into the dining review on the Caribbean Princess, and I'll also put that in the description. So overall, I would rate the Caribbean Princess's food a 4.5 out of 5 stars. We had a really enjoyable experience overall with food. Yes, there was a little negative on the buffet, but I don't really ever have high expectations of buffet, and all the other experiences really outweighed that. So number 3 would be entertainment. And I know entertainment and food are subjective, but unfortunately, we did not think it was very good. It was very average. Now, what I will say to this is, when you've been on an Oasis class ship and you've seen some of the entertainment on those ships and some of the ice skating shows and some of the aqua theater shows, that sets that bar really high. So I think that was part of the reason. The second reason is it just didn't feel well produced. The shows, the comedian, they were okay. So unfortunately, that wasn't very good. What we did like, though, was the gentleman on the piano. It was in the midship. It was called the Crooner's Bar area. He was there every night, and his name was Oliver Holland. Really good guy. And as the aforementioned, I talked about the smoke. It was very difficult to sit there. We did one night. He picked on me the whole time. It was all in good fun. We had a great time. And then because of the cigarette smoke, we would go through there like 5 or 10 minutes and check him out in the evenings. And he just had a huge crowd, almost standing room only, every single night. So that would be my alternative if you really didn't like the shows, is maybe go check out the guy or girl on the piano. They always seem to have someone on the piano that's really good. That's kind of something as a trademark that I've always remember about Princess Cruises. So overall, rating the entertainment, it would be a 3 out of 5 stars. And really, the gentleman on the piano was the only saving grace. If not, I would have probably rated it a 1 star. So before I get to number 4, if you would please like this video, it does help the channel grow, also consider subscribing. I do daily cruise news and daily cruise tips and tricks. And then on Saturdays and Sundays at 8 a.m., I do longer cruise videos. Thank you so much. So number 4 was the cabin, and we had Baja 748. It's an aft-facing balcony cabin on the corner, and it was a huge balcony. The largest balcony cabin we ever had that was a non-suite balcony. It was such great views, the sounds coming from that wake, those props from the cruise ship. I just love that experience. I could sit out there for hours and just take it all in. It was really a cool experience. The cabin overall was okay. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about the ship itself. It just wasn't really well taken care of. It just felt old. It didn't felt remodeled. And I kind of wonder what they did in 2019 when they updated the ship. It just did not feel very updated. Now the bed is super comfortable. I'm very picky about my bed. I sleep on a Tempur-Pedic because of multiple car accidents, so I can attest to the bed being very comfortable. Rating it, I would rate it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Overall, just because it didn't feel well kept, it was a little on the smaller side. Yes, the balcony is amazing, but once again, that wasn't even real well kept. There was a couple breaks in the weld on the railings, and it kind of freaked me out to kind of put any kind of pressure against it. So that was a little weird there. So overall though, I would rate it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments if you've also experienced similar smells on the Caribbean Princess in the last 4 to 6 weeks. I'm wondering if they fixed that issue. Until I talk to you next time, happy cruising.